Hi everyone, my name is Lydia Christie. I'm a sophomore managerial science major.
Alright guys, so part A is asking us to calculate the total number of cells in the vector D2 to D162 using the aggregate function. Alright, and to do that, you're just going to enter the equal sign in cell B3. Start typing in aggregate. Double click as soon as you see it. And then you have the option of using 2 or 3. 2, which is the count function, would only count cells that have numbers in them, whereas the function we're going to use is count A, would count cells that have information in them, period. So I'm going to put a 3 in here. And then the next instruction tells us to input 4 because we aren't ignoring anything, so I'm just going to input 4 here. And next, all you have to do is highlight the cells D2 to D162, so I'm going to do that now. D2. And separate it with a colon, and then highlight D162. All right, now you're just going to, in parentheses, click enter, your answer is 160. All right, so next for part B, first and foremost, I'm just going to insert the letter B in a random cell. I'm going to choose C5, and I'll explain why in a second. But part B is asking us to utilize the COUNTIF function to count the number of cells within the vector D2 to D162 that start with the letter B. So here I'm going to insert my equal sign, start typing COUNTIF because that's the function that we're going to use. In my parentheses, I'm going to highlight D2 to D162 again, separate this with a colon as I'm doing here, and D162 one more time. I'm going to separate this with a comma. And now I'm going to enter that cell C5, which contains the B. And I am talking about the letter B, guys. So that's my C5 here. Next, I'm going to enter the and symbol, double quotations, a multiplication sign, and then double quotes again. And the reason why I'm doing this, guys, is just to complete the function. And I'm just going to input my in parentheses, click enter. Your answer should be 16, and all that did, guys, was count these cells here, starting with bacon, ending with butts, because these are the cells that contain counties that begin with the letter B, and that's what the function was asking us to do. All right, now, so for part C, finally, we're going to use the COUNTIF function to highlight and count any cell that contains an X in the 3 criteria, which are special, column K, transportation, column K. Special is column I. Transportation is column K. And local operations is column H. So first, I'm going to enter my equal sign one more time, and we're using the COUNTIFs function with an S. So I'm going to double click on that. I'm going to highlight my cells again, D2 colon D162. And I'm going to comma. And this time we're going to input the double quotes, multiplication sign, and combo, but in a different order. So I'm going to do those double quotes, multiplication sign, and double quotes. And then I'm going to input my and symbol. And next, we're just going to input a random cell. I'm going to choose C10, and all this is doing, guys, is just telling Excel to count everything. So instead of just counting cells that start with the letter, end with the letter, we're just going to count everything. So like I said, I'm going to input cell C10 here, and then I'm just going to comma. And now we're going to begin inputting our columns we're just going to input our columns, and we're going to separate it with X because this function is asking us to count all the columns or all the cells that contain an X in it. So first, I'm going to input the special column, and I'm going to start with I. And it's asking us to highlight cells that begin with 2 and end with 162, like I did for D2, D162. So I'm going to do that for I2, separated with a colon, and input I162. All right, and then I'm going to put a comma here, And next, in quotations, I'm going to put the letter X because, like I said, we're going to be counting the functions within this vector that have an X in it. I'm going to end my quotations here and then put another comma. And then we're going to do the same thing for the next two criteria. I'm going to start with transportation. So I'm going to put K here, K2, colon, K162. And now I'm going to do my comma, quotation X, in quotations. I'm going to put a comma here. And lastly, we're going to do the same thing for the special local ops, which is column H. And I'm going to put the H here, H2, separated with a colon one more time. And then H162. And I'm going to comma and put my last X in quotations, in quotes. And that's it. All you have to do is in parentheses. Your answer should be 45. And all right, guys, just to reiterate, that last function was just counting all the cells that had an X in them for the three criteria. All right, congrats, you have completed all your tests. For that, I will reward you with humor. My joke for you is, what does a house wear to a party? An address. 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 Address.